good morning, and good morning. I say three good mornings. It is currently 5:15 a.m. and I've been up since 4 a.m. UK time. Pigeon is basically not slept. And why? Well, Las Vegas qualifying. That's why. Just come off the back of it. It is Lando Norris will start on pole with Max Verstappen alongside him on the front row. That should be tasty. And Carlos Sainz, great qualifying, puts it into P3. Pigeon, immediate thoughts as we finished.
Very impressive. It was a completely wet qualifying. We actually saw the extreme wet tires being used for most of it, and no one binned it into a wall. So that's
Yeah,
impressive. No other words for it. It was great to see. I don't think the driver saw much of it though, but amazing qualifying. One of the best ones of the years, I'd say.
it was probably the pinpoint of what F1 driving is. The fact that full wets, incredibly low grip, and then they've still managed to all of them keep it on track and not in the wall. You did have the Albon in the wall at the end of Q1, P-Boy back to the pits, and Behrman. I don't know what happened with him still. I don't know if it was a brake failure or he just locked up and aquaplaned into the wall. But other than that, every driver kept on track. Brilliant display of driving, and yeah, you end up with Lando on pole. What I will say is Oscar Piastri again, not quite on it, fifth.
I mean, still pretty good, fifth, I'd say. Gives him a fighting chance tomorrow if anything does happen. But yeah, not really comparable to his teammate, of course.
Yeah, I mean when you look at he's in the championship battle with Lando and Max, and they're one and two. If he gets to P3, probably let's say this is going to be his best P3. Lando wins, he still drops 10 points, and the gap then opens to 34.
Yeah,
Do you
then
at
it's
that
really
point?
over.
Yeah, would yeah, that's what I was going to. My next question, I'd say, would you say the championship is over at that point?
I think if Oscar doesn't even gain any points on Norris, then the championship would be over.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was very much a win this weekend, or it's done. And
yeah,
even
I'd say so.
yeah, and even with that, you don't see Max if Max wins and Lando comes second. The gap between Max and Lando is so big that you need a Lando DNF and a Max win to swing that to a point that maybe Max can challenge.
At this point, I'd say he needs a DNF to
Yeah,
even be considered to be in the fight.
yeah,
Because if he does, let's say if he does win and Norris DNF for whatever reason, that's 25 points to him. That brings the gap down to 24 points, which is the same that Piastri has now.
yeah. You put Piastri second in that instance as well, and that gap closes down to 8.
Yeah, but yeah, I'd say Max is properly out of it, unless something really happens. Yeah, he's out of it.
I think
Um,
everyone loved saying the whole three-way title fight. That's why Max is in there, but everyone, even he knew he wasn't really there.
yeah, he also said on the interviews, he's lost so many points in the middle of the season. He can't really blame anyone other than himself if he doesn't get it this year.
Yeah,
And that shows maturity. Yeah, there have
yeah,
been a few moments where he definitely lost some points, other than car performance. So yeah,
yeah. No, he definitely knew himself, and fair play to him. Hopefully, we'll see him in 2026 in a title fight with the McLarens and maybe some other drivers from other teams. Going on to other drivers from other teams, Hamilton. I believe he's P20. I believe he's last.
P20 really?
I think
Jeez.
I think he did finish completely last in that session. Uh, as Pigeon looks up to confirm that, I
Yeah,
just
once again, it is like 6 a.m. So yeah,
yeah
Hamilton is P20. He was 4 tenths off Tsunoda, who's P19.
yeah, and
Um,
it's a tricky one because these are conditions that he thrives in the most. Is that his car's not the best? He's not the best with his car. You see rain, you see a wet track, and this is where you say this is Lewis's bread and butter. And actually, it's been the opposite, and he's gone P20, and it wasn't like he made any real mistakes. He just didn't have the pace or the confidence.
yeah, I mean it's you know these cars specifically, they are pretty sensitive to any factor other than regular air. Whether it's dirty air, whether it's spray, and you're on a Las Vegas where it's not the best track. Let's be honest. It,
Yeah,
it doesn't really have the flow of a old school circuit. It is raining. We know he's not really comfortable with the car. So yeah, that's what you get. If you're not comfortable with the car in a situation like this, it's no surprise that you will end up yeah, in the drop zone. But pre-20 is pretty harsh. They might do a setup change for tomorrow, like Verstappen did last race, to try and salvage something out of it. But I don't think he has much to salvage in this one. Um,
yeah.
but let's hope he can have some fun tomorrow, uh, and learn a lesson from this, whatever that may be. But yeah,
I think, in all honesty, setup change and pit lane start is probably the best thing you can do,
yeah,
because that turn one is tight and it's tricky, and when 20 cars are going through at the same time, it's opening up an opportunity for him to be wiped out somewhere along the lines, or collect someone's front wing, or someone in a bit of carnage. So probably the smartest thing they can do. Same for Yuki Tsunoda, probably same for Kimi Antonelli, and give them the fighting chance to go tomorrow and make some overtakes.
yeah. What is actually the last time we had three like top four teams going out in Q1? That's pretty.
Oh, I'd be intrigued to know that,
Yeah.
because that,
I mean, give it like 20 minutes. It'll be somewhere on Twitter. So
yeah, someone's going to put on.
yeah.
But yeah, no, that's
But yeah, we also have
it's
Bortoleto, P18, trying to rebound from a, well, let's be
yeah,
fair, awful Brazilian Grand Prix weekend.
huge
Um,
crash.
yeah, didn't really find the pace today, sadly. Antonelli in P17 and Albon in P16, who was the only one to, well, damage his car on a wall. But he drove it pretty nicely into the pit lane. He didn't come back out again, but yeah. Uh,
I think he was on a lap to go through as well at that point when he crashed into the wall. So it's unfortunate for him. We could have
yeah,
potentially seen two Williams up in the top 10, but it's the way the cookie crumbles.
if you want to say it like that, yes, that is the way
Well,
the cookie crumbles.
or that's the way the front right tire crumbles in
I think it's
Albon's
pretty
instance.
interesting, anyways, because we had three qualifying sessions, and I think it was three times really different conditions. Because the first one we had wet with like buckets and buckets of spray. Then we had Q2, which was still on the wets, but it was no spray at all. It was just wets for the grip. And then Q3 was inters, but still really treacherous. Um, so yeah, that was pretty nice to see. Q2 we had both the house drivers going out, Colapinto, Stroll, and Hulkenberg. Yeah, I mean I think it was a case of right time, right place. Uh, there was a lot of yellow flags. So
Yeah,
if you were in the wrong place at the wrong time, you had to back off, and then you can really do your lap. So yeah, um, everything was pretty close actually. Only 2.5 seconds separated P1 to P15. So in the rain, that's not too bad.
yeah. You make that in two sectors in certain conditions,
Yeah,
especially when the track's getting as quick as it was with the tyres that they were using. We did see Stroll in Q2 as well, gamble for the Inters. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for him. He was probably a few minutes too early on them, or a few minutes
yeah,
too late going onto them. But yeah, always worth the gamble if you think you're going out anyway. And yeah, he took it, and unfortunately, it just didn't work out for him. He was only a couple of tenths off, I believe, going
less than
through.
a
And that was,
tenth, less than a tenth off.
yeah, so it's very close to going through on the Inter. So not the worst for him. Just unfortunately, it was just a little bit too early on them. And
Yeah,
then top 10, you got your Gasly in 10th. Great from him in the Alpine to sort of, I'd say, drag it up. Only just squeezed into Q3 at the end, but yeah, very good from him. Leclerc P9, uh,
yeah, that final
again,
moment kind of sealed the deal for
yeah,
him. Turn
yeah,
12, it's been notorious all weekend long. If you're going up somewhere, it is going to be turn 12. It's got a lot of room to do so, anyways. Uh,
yeah,
but yeah, that final moment really sealed the deal for him. P9 tomorrow.
There's been a few moments for him as well this weekend where, or just today in general, that he's done that at turn 12. He seems to be struggling a lot. Both the Ferrari drivers do, as you see with Lewis, but Leclerc as well seem to be struggling quite a lot with the car today. And I'm not sure if that's setup related. They've gone for the dry setup or just confidence or the car in general. But I
I
hope to
think
see Leclerc do well.
I think it's because they're not allowed to talk anymore, so they can also give feedback to the engineers.
Yeah, that's true. Seems to be a bit of a riff in that team. It's not probably isn't very good for either two drivers.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some driver changes from 2027.
Oh yeah, and I think announced early on in the year as well.
Yeah,
Especially if Lewis is going to retire, it'll be announced fairly
yeah, they'll
early on.
probably announce it before the flag falls in Abu Dhabi if he's going to retire next year.
Yeah, he'll take that checkered flag, knowing he's retiring, and do a few donuts, send himself
Yeah,
off. Um, yeah, a bit like he did when he left Mercedes to go to Ferrari, announced very early there. So I'm interested. And then you got P8 is Hadjar, P7 Alonso, P6 Lawson. The two racing bulls. To touch on them, what they're doing incredible work at the moment.
I
Last few
mean
races they've both been up there, and then
they
today
are
as well.
they're P6 in the championship currently. So they're leading that pack because P6 through P9 is
And a Hadjar
really.
podium this year as well, isn't there?
Yeah, had your podium loss in P5 or
Yeah,
P4, P5,
he has got a
somewhere
P4
in
this
there.
year. Yeah,
So both of them have been doing really well. They're only 7 points apart, as we touched on before. Um, so yeah, both of those have been doing amazing seasons. I think Hadjar has kind of edged him out a little bit because he has that podium, and he's been consistent in qualifying all year. But both Racing Bulls, they have been up there in Q3 all season long, and you can only applaud that. It's been amazing.
yeah. Especially
And
from Lawson to have what he had. We did
yeah,
touch on it in the live stream. We won't go into it now, but to have what he had at Red Bull at the start and go back into the racing bulls and drive as well as he has, that shows class and maturity from him. And Hadjar as a rookie has just come in, and even after his difficult Australian Grand Prix start, he has really taken the car under himself and performed very well.
yeah. I must say Lawson. If he does get the boot or anything, it's really a shame because as we said in the live stream, the Red Bull seat was never meant for him.
No,
Um, Either give him half a season or don't put him in at all. But yeah, it's good to see him do so well now. Also beating his teammate in this qualifying instance must be a pretty big boost for him going into the final round of the season.
yeah, definitely. I'd like to see him in for 2026. See what he
Yeah,
can do. If the rumours are true, it'll be Hadjar in the Red Bull. Lindblad will come from F2 to support Lawson in the Racing Bulls, and it'll just be interesting to see sort of how Lawson does next year, the full season, the Racing Bulls, and how Hadjar does potentially. Might see Lawson 2027 going for that Red Bull seat again. Might not even see Max in the Red Bull. You just don't know what's going to happen. But yeah,
top five. I mean, we're gonna get to the big guns now. Um, Oscar PS3 has
oh,
qualified in P5 for tomorrow's Grand Prix. Not the position he would have wanted, maybe, but after FP3, I think that's what he'll have to settle for. Um, yeah,
it's just been notorious of Oscar. It's not something I'm shocked about at the moment after his last few races. He has been a championship contender that has kind of lost his way. I think confidence has dropped from him. He's struggled a lot with the pressures of it. He felt like he needed to hold to the championship lead. Baku was kind of the starting point. He had a bad start, then tried too much, crashed into the wall, and he hasn't really recovered from that. And you've seen him quite low down in qualifying, not doing very well in the race, and that's allowed Lando now to go 24 points clear at the top.
yeah. I mean, I think if you'd have told anyone after Zandvoort that with 3 races to go, Piastri would be 24 points back on his teammate, no one would have believed you.
No, not a chance.
The drop in form has been immense. And personally, I think for him it's only a learning opportunity. If he can finish the season keeping P2, I think he should be really proud of himself as well, because this was his first time being anywhere close to the title, and he took it all away. We're still three races out, and he's still in the fight, still
Yeah.
20 points back. If he somehow can recoup some points every race, then he still has a shot. But yeah,
I think if
but
you take that back and talk about first times in championship fights, you go to Norris last year, and while he wasn't necessarily, he's kind of in a max position last year, no accident this year, but even he was in it, and you saw Lando make silly mistakes, drop off a bit, and that just allowed Max to go and say, "Yeah, I'll take this championship." And I think Oscar's now done the same, got to the point where he's leading it, um, where Lando was really at a point where he was kind of the quickest car, and then Oscar's made the mistakes, and Lando's gone, "Oh, now I'll take this with the experience I've got from last year."
yeah, I mean, George Russell, we had high expectations. I must say we had high expectations. I think that the high
Yeah,
expectations came more for if it was dry qualifying, we would have definitely put him somewhere close to pole.
yeah.
It wasn't. Still P4, not bad. He's been great all season. Uh, you really wouldn't expect him anywhere but the top five. Um, yeah, just not quick enough for the top three, but pretty much clear of Piastri anyways. So he'll have a great run up to turn one tomorrow, looking down the rear wing of Max Verstappen in P2.
Yeah, and like I said, it's George Russell has just been a there or thereabouts driver
Yeah,
um, the whole season. He's won a few races, he's got a few podiums, he's constantly around the top five, he scores points well. What more can you want from a driver that's not in the quickest car?
yeah. I mean, if I think you can compare Russell's season to Verstappen's. They weren't in the quickest car, but they've still given a champions drive.
Yeah,
Um, and yeah. For Russell,
just
I
a
mean,
he's just a great driver. He really
yeah,
is.
you can only admire it. He's been so consistent this year. Hasn't made many mistakes. I don't think he's made really big mistakes. He's gone out a couple times in Q2, I believe, but yeah, other than that,
Yeah,
yeah, just
I think
great season.
I think he's one of those drivers that if you give him a top car, if he is in the quickest or second quickest car on the grid, as we've seen in tracks where Mercedes have been quicker than everyone else, he will be a driver that will win the championship with relative ease, purely based on his consistency alone.
Yeah, let's go to today's big surprise.
Oh, yes, please.
Carlos Sainz, the smooth
Water,
operator,
water driver.
has once again reached the top three in a qualifying session. I
If
mean,
I may start, he is just brilliant. For a driver to, if you look at what he's had to deal with, a driver who's in a Ferrari, who is in at the time when he thought a safe drive, to then be told, yeah, we're dropping you. You've done nothing wrong, but we're going to drop you because we're getting Lewis Hamilton. And then all of a sudden now you've got no drive. That must be so hard. You don't find Williams, which probably isn't a team you wanted, and you've got Red Bull there, you've got Mercedes who might want a driver, and you end up being in Williams who last year were not very quick. He's come into this season, first few races, he's right down the bottom. He's lacking confidence, and you can see it in him as well. To now be a driver who's in the top 10 a lot, qualifying in third place in wet conditions, just you can only applaud him because it that is true maturity and that is true driver skill, and you just yeah, I have nothing else to say on it. He's just brilliant.
I mean, we talk about the effect of having the fastest car, of course. You see that with McLaren, both still great drivers, but that fastest car really carries them throughout the season, even especially on tracks where they aren't that strong, either personally or with the car weaknesses. But you can really see the difference that having two great drivers in a team makes when you don't have the fastest car. The performances that Sainz and Albon have been putting in this season are admirable. They've been reaching P4s, P3s. They've been qualifying all over the grid, um, and you can just see that that team is working well. You can see that the atmosphere that they've created in the team it just works. I think James Vowles has really turned that team around, and I really think that they can be challenging for podiums next season uh, on merit.
Yeah, absolutely. I think where you've got McLaren, you've got Red Bull, you've got Mercedes, and you've got Ferrari currently. I think you can very much be looking at saying next season you're going to have two, maybe three teams where you just say, yeah, they're the quickest, and then you've got the challenging teams, and that's going to be maybe a Ferrari, and that's going to be a Williams, and
Yeah,
you're going to have Sainz and Albon, who are incredible drivers in their own right anyway, being given a car that is even quicker, and they're pushing for those podiums, and you can see a chance where you've got Sainz and Albon fighting Leclerc and Russell for P3 in a four-way fight. And you're going to have five quickest teams. It's going to be a split in the field. It's going to be five quick teams, five slower teams. And I'm here for it because Sainz and Albon, drivers they are, and what they've had to deal with in the sport, they absolutely deserve a quick car.
yeah. I mean, I hope we get to see them for many, many years. So yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, what's Sainz now? 30 odd?
Yeah,
Come up
30 and a
30.
bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
So he's got, in terms of modern day F1, he's got a good few years left. And
Yeah, I think he has at least 5 more seasons in him.
yeah, and you
Um,
look at in fact, Verstappen, he said he won't be around for a while. Um, Lewis won't be either. Big driver shake up when Lewis goes. You might see who signs return to a top team or Williams at that point. They might even be a top team.
yeah. Let's move on to the top two.
Big guns.
I mean, it can only be them, right? At this point.
You expected nothing less today, really. The only thing I did expect was I thought it would be Verstappen pole, Lando second, but wasn't to be.
I mean, Norris really pulled the lap out of somewhere there. Do you think it's right place, right time for Norris, or just pure pace today?
I think it's pure pace. I think he's done it quite a few times. He's been quick, but he's not been miles clear. And then at the end of the session, he's just pulled out a time that's gone, wow. And as you can see, he's 3 tenths quicker than Verstappen. And Verstappen is not 3 tenths slower than Lando. It's just Lando is 3 tenths quicker than Max.
Yeah, yeah, I'd have to agree with that. I don't think that Max was looking too comfortable this session. He wasn't miles ahead. Um, Also think there might be some setup in there as well. Uh, they might have gone cautious, but not too cautious for the
Yeah.
race. So we'll have to see tomorrow. I mean, they're on the front row together. You never know with Max on the front row. He might dip a wheel somewhere, try
Yeah.
something. Norris, the same thing. I mean, they are mathematically still in a title fight, but I don't think that Norris will go all in on fighting Max.
He's probably at a point where he goes, if I drop to P2 and Max wins, whatever. His
Yeah,
focus is Piastri.
yeah. Um, I mean, yeah, that's it. I think
Yeah.
we've covered the entire grid now.
Yeah.
Do
I
we
think,
think it's gonna rain tomorrow?
I don't, I, we didn't think it was going to rain today. I think it was 30 or 40% chance, and it did. So you can say no, it won't with a thing a 30% chance, but will it? Who knows? It's anyone's guess at this point.
Yeah. I mean, if it does rain tomorrow, I'll watch the F1 Academy race, which we can kind of summarize in a bit. But there is really no grip, and if it does rain, we're gonna see some proper chaos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
My predictions would be based on two things, and it's based on the fact that Max's Red Bull, as we all know, is front end heavy. He loves a front end car, so he's probably taken downforce off to go for a dry setup, knowing he can handle the car anyway in the wet. He's got second with it. If it's dry tomorrow, Max wins. If it's wet tomorrow, Lando wins.
yeah, that's fair. Who's gonna be P3 then?
I'd like to say Signs. I really would, but I think it's going to be Russell or Piastri. And then again, it comes down to whether it's wet or dry. I think if it's wet, Piastri. I think if it's dry, it will be Russell. But I don't think Signs is going to roll over. I think he'll put up a fight.
Yeah, I think with the massive DRS on this track, it's yeah. I think it's going to be Verstappen either way, whether it's wet or dry. I think it's going to be Verstappen. He's going to be aggressive. He said he has nothing to lose. I really believe him.
Yeah,
I think Sainz has maybe unfinished business with Russell following Baku.
yeah. I
So
think there's going to be a bit of argy bargy there.
I will believe in the power of sparkles. I'm going to say Verstappen, Norris, Sainz.
I'd love to see Signs on the podium. He deserves
Yeah,
it. He does.
he really does.
And yeah, I think, like I said, we're going to see a little bit of needle going on the track tomorrow.
Yeah. Um,
And I'll say it now on camera. We spoke about it in the podcast. No, watch along. Championship isn't mathematically won this weekend by Lando, and there's also a chance that if he DNFs and Verstappen wins, that gap closes to 24. Piastri gains as well, and all of a sudden it looks a lot more open. If if Lando Norris crashes tomorrow and doesn't finish the race, I'll do a shoey on camera.
okay.
It's out there. It's
You
out
heard it,
there.
you heard it
Can't
here
take it back
first.
now. Can't take it back now.
Okay, well, we still have the chance for a mechanical DNF for both McLaren drivers because they have only had 4 engines this year.
That's
Um,
true. Yeah.
so yeah, I'm not saying that there's a big chance, but the chance is there
We had it
for
in
them to have a
Netherlands.
mechanical failure in the next 3 races.
Yeah.
We have seen those Mercedes power units be not the most reliable, so we'll have to wait and see.
Did
Um,
Antonelli have like 3 failures in the first quarter of the year
I
or
think it was
something?
like the European leg where he was really
Yeah,
unlucky. Yeah,
he just had so many failures, and obviously Lando had the one in Zandvoort as well, so
yeah.
that hasn't done him any favors.
In case you missed it though, F1 Academy has its final round this week. Race 1 happened earlier today, with Pan and Wook only being 9 points apart from one another. And I think it's safe to say that the championship is over at this point. Wook did not manage to finish the race. She actually DNF'd, or technically DNS'd, as the race hadn't officially started yet. Pan won the race, so they're now 19 points apart from one another, which means that Pan would basically have to go P8 tomorrow to not win the championship. So yeah, it was a pretty fun race though. A lot of chaos. It was really slippery, so we had a couple of crashes. But yeah, once again, really impressive how those drivers did manage to keep the cars on the road. That's a pretty good racing action as well. So if you usually don't watch it, I would, yeah, go
Set your
watch it.
alarms.
Just go watch it. It's fun.
Set your alarms for Sunday morning. 2 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 1 a.m., 1 a.m. UK time. Somewhere
Yeah,
around then.
somewhere. Just set a cup of coffee. You'll be fine.
Yeah, yeah. No, you'll be good. Just don't sleep. There you go. Spend all night. Go on Vegas time.
Just don't do a human basic need. Yeah.
Yeah, do need sleep.
I think that's it from us. Uh,
Yeah,
I'll probably go to bed now because it's still like 6 a.m.
so yeah, it's
Um,
5:45,
yeah,
5:44 UK time, 6:44 Pigeon time, and I am struggling.
although you are barely awake.
I got literally. I am barely awake.
Yeah. So it's goodbye from us, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Have a good day, and yeah, enjoy the race tomorrow.
Bye bye.